All right, welcome to the video lecture on organic farming. Let's begin. Organic farming is the production of crops without the use of synthetic pesticides or fertilizers. An organic farmer is also going to plant and harvest non-GMO crops only. So the guidelines for an organic farm are established in the Organic Farm Production Act of 1990. In it, it says that organic farmers must grow on land that has been free of prohibited pesticides and substances for at least 3 years before harvest. There's a couple other guidelines for organic farms, like the farm needs to manage its soil fertility properly. It's got to dispose of manure also properly. And then an organic farm's got to use some sort of prevention first before resulting to any sort of pesticide in terms of trying to control pests. And earlier in chapter 11, we discussed integrated pest management. I want you guys to write down a couple of these techniques because it will show up in the APES exam in May. Integrated pest management, or IPM, is used to control pests. And the way that an organic farmer might be able to control pests are through physical, biological, and chemical means. Physical IPM methods include techniques like simply just using a barrier, a fence to keep pests out, or by setting traps to catch them. Biological integrated pest management methods could include just attracting natural predators like spiders to control insects, or cats to control rats or mice, right? Chemical IPM methods could be spraying soap solutions on plants to discourage pests. One of the major benefits that a farmer will get, especially organic farmer, of using IPM methods is the reduction of the use of pesticides overall to control those pests that destroy crops. Organic labeling is kind of interesting in that the states are passing, it kind of depends on the state, but passing different laws requiring the stricter guidelines for labeling whether or not something is considered to be organic and grown in the way that I described earlier. There's 500 different organizations that will offer certification services too. So what are the pros and cons of organic farming? Take a look. Farmers have lower input costs, enhanced income, reduced chemical pollution, that's the big one, and less soil degradation too, right? By practicing stewardship to the land, taking care of it, making sure that the tragedy of the commons doesn't occur. Obstacles include risks and costs of switching to new methods too. So that could be a reason why a farmer might not want to get into organic farming. Just right. Think about it. They have to not farm or use synthetic fertilizers and pesticides for 3 years in order to switch from a traditional to organic farm. There's also some pros here with consumers. So consumers are concerned about the health risks of certain pesticides too, right? And they want to also improve environmental quality. Some of the obstacles that consumers might find is this higher price for organic foods, but there's some cons too, right? Farmers do experience some environmental consequences. They're going to maybe till and plow their lands in order to have to do that, right? Which could lead to soil erosion, we know. And some pest control methods may include propane or other fossil fuels. So in addition to the IPM methods that I discussed on the previous slide, take a look at this picture. Here's an organic farmer who is using kind of this propane and blowtorch to destroy some weeds that are growing on the land. I think about any time you ever burn fossil fuels, you're going to be releasing carbon dioxide out into the atmosphere. All right, what else? So what are some other environmental advantages? I want you to write down a couple of these because this can show up too. So some other environmental advantages of organic farming is that there is a decreased need to transport food long distances, and that's going to result in less or decreased fossil fuel consumption, and also a decreased amount of greenhouse gases up into the atmosphere, therefore decreased global warming in the end. At least that's the idea behind it. Organic farming in agriculture is big business, right? Take a look. Organic farmers can't keep up with the demand. Consumers spending quite a bit here in the United States on organic food. Production is also increasing, 1.8 million hectares in the U.S. There's some economic advantages for organic farms and purchasing organic foods from markets, and that's the lower cost that's associated with that transportation, right? Think about it. We're using less fossil fuels to take the food from point A to point B, and so that cost savings might be passed on to the consumer. There's also lower costs associated with the storage too, because the food doesn't have to go very long distances and be set aside right before it hits the shelves in the supermarkets. Organic foods are also going to boost the local economy because money is going to be remaining in the local area, the local farms. It's also helping to support local labor too. All right, so how can government support organic farming? In 1993, the European Union adopted a policy supporting farmers financially during conversion to organic farming to get over that 3-year hump. Originally, the U.S. did not want to do that and support organic production, so it was low, but things are getting a little bit better. In 2008, the Farm Bill gave $112 million over 5 years for organic agriculture infrastructure, and many farmers still can't switch, though, because they can't afford that temporary loss of income. In the long run, organic farming is more profitable than conventional farming. Stuff to think about as we move our discussion towards sustainable agriculture in the future. Thanks for watching.